So last week I wrote a Substack piece. I titled it basically "Losing a Generation," and I'll add it here. And I want to talk about it a little bit in this video because it's gotten a lot of attention. And in the essay, I say we are losing a generation of Jewish people, and it's not because they don't care about the Judaism. It's actually quite the opposite. We are losing this generation because legacy institutions, whether they be JCCs, synagogues, or something else, legacy institutions that claim to safeguard our tradition and the ones that claim to protect us have lost their moral clarity. Judaism, in my opinion, is the OG of liberation theology. It's the original liberation theology, meaning that liberation theology, in its basic definition, and God gives God's preferential concern for the poor and oppressed, a theology that is rooted through the lens of social justice and arguing that faith requires active work to free people from unjust economic, political, and social conditions. And we as Jews are commanded in the Torah no less than 36 times to not oppress the stranger because we know the soul of the stranger. And we are told explicitly and repeatedly that justice is not optional. And yet too many of our Jewish leaders, too many of our institutions have gone silent on suffering. And too many of our institutions have prioritized political safety over prophetic responsibility. And young Jews see this contradiction, and they see the gap between the Torah they've been taught and the silence of institutions that claim to represent that Torah. We have young people in our society who have grown up on American values, and for the sake of this podcast or this video, let's say American values are rooted in justice, fairness, compassion, and freedom and liberty. Those American values that have been connected to the Torah that we taught them. We taught them about these values. And because they see this contradiction between the Torah they've been taught and how our institutions are acting, they are walking away. And it's not just young people. Some older folks are fed up as well. Not from Judaism. It's not big, and I'm not talking about the people who don't love their Judaism. They are fed up and walking away from a version of Judaism that has become completely unrecognizable to them. And conversation after conversation, I encounter Jews of all ages, longtime synagogue members, community leaders, people who have given decades to these institutions are fed up with this lack of moral clarity. If we continue down this path of silence and selective empathy, we won't just lose a generation, we will lose the soul of our tradition. And as the month of Elul approaches, at the time of the year when we think about how we may have missed the mark, how we've not done a great job in the past, and how we can do better in the future, and how we can live up to the future we want, there is still time to return. There's still time to return to the Torah of empathy, compassion, and justice, but only if we are willing to see the suffering of others and moving beyond this whataboutism. What about insert selective words? There's still time to return, but only if we are willing to see the suffering of others. And we must let our hearts be broken and open like the tablets at Sinai. And I wrote about this last week, and I've written about this before. I had a link in the bottom to the post from last week. And like I said, I've written about what's driving people away and what our tradition actually demands, and how we might find our way back. Let's find our way back, folks. You have a great day.